Well, hello and welcome to this month's live stream. Hope you're doing okay. Thanks for joining us. And how are you guys doing?
Not too
Good,
bad,
mate.
mate. Thanks.
Good.
You?
Good. What you been up to, Tom?
Just working, really. Topping my tan up for the first time in the year.
Yeah, I see that.
Feeling a little bit, not burnt, but I'm feeling, I've had the first bit of sun of the year, proper sun, so.
You certainly did, didn't you, huh?
Yeah, it's decent, yeah. Not
Mm.
too bad. How about you, Matt?
Yeah. We're just kind of looking at the sun to see if it's still there up here.
Yeah.
How's things been with you, Matt?
Yeah, lots of sun here. There always is in Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I'm used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
So we've had lots of entries this month for the live critique, and it was natural framing. That's right, isn't it, Matt?
We didn't quite know how to title it in the end. I think we just buggered it up, didn't we, really?
Yeah, I think we did.
Too many ways to say one thing. Mm.
Yeah, but I think we've stuck with natural framing. I think that's pretty much where we are with it.
Mm.
So we'll get straight into it, I think, because there's been a lot of submissions this month. Again, I've got a good 12 or so to get through here. So we'll start with number 1. And this is a place near Bonnie Doon. You should know where that is, Matt.
I certainly do.
And it's David Skinner. I'll just put this full screen. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Why is that not working? Give me a second. There we go. How's that?
There you go.
And yeah, this is the first one. Some really nice conditions there anyway.
Yeah. It's obviously a perfect natural sort of frame, isn't it? You know, really hit the brief there, definitely. And you got a great view in behind. So there's plenty of layers to look at, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sort of really pulls you in. It's not just about the frame, it's about compositionally, it really pulls you in. Once you get past the natural frame. And obviously the atmosphere helps, and there's plenty of little trees and little things down there that you can keep looking at. It keeps you interested, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's some nice depth to it. It does pull you through the scene quite nicely.
Yeah, nice light as well.
Yeah, I really like that cloud and atmosphere through the back there. It really gives you something to look at.
It's nice to see an image as well. It's like a nice blue, like a blue sky, like a condition, like a daylight scene where you shouldn't go out and you're wasting your time. It's nice to see them sort of bright, nice conditions used in this sort of way. It just goes to show that you don't have to be getting up at the crack of dawn or staying up late at night, do you? There's always a shot somewhere. You just need to be in the right place, the right subject matter. There's never really such a thing as bad light as such, is there? Really, just
no, it's just what you make of it. Basically.
What you make of it, yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely.
Do you think about this, Matt?
Oh, I know the location very, very well, actually. It's a beautiful spot. It's a part of Victoria. So you've got Melbourne, which is in the south of Australia, and you've got the whole state of Victoria.
Yeah.
And this particular area of Victoria, as you can see, is very, very hilly. There's these beautiful big hills. And it's just scattered with these beautiful eucalyptus trees everywhere. And it does get particular weather there. So as you can see, he's captured a really, really nice scene here. And yeah, I could keep talking about this location, but it's good to see that there's a frame. He's used a frame here. That's what the subject is about this month. So the frame is these. Well, it's the trees on the left and the right-hand side. Probably they're not juxtaposed enough to sort of drag you in, maybe a little bit. I can see the idea was there, but maybe the bottom half of the scene was probably a little bit cropped off a bit too much, and maybe not as centered as I would like to see it in my eyes. If I was there on location, I would have recomposed it a little bit more. I mean, the take, the location, the lighting, everything is fantastic. The idea to use the frame of these trees in the left to right hand side is definitely there. Here we got Josh writing in the comments. Ned Kelly country. Yes, it is Ned Kelly country, mate, actually. Ned Kelly was a bushranger. He's not the bushranger anymore. I don't know if you guys have heard of Ned Kelly before.
Yeah.
He was famous in Australia anyway. He's probably like the only famous person in Australia. Apart from, no, that's it. AC/DC, maybe. I don't know. Who else is famous in
Steve
Australia?
Irwin. Steve Irwin's pretty
Steve
famous.
Irwin.
Was.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like the framing. I like the idea. It just gives me that. I would say, oh, you know what? I would go back and redo that again. You know?
Yeah, a bit tight maybe for you.
Sorry, is it quite a rural area, this then, Matt?
Yeah, it is.
It
yeah,
looks like
rural.
farmland.
Yeah, it is. Just a bunch of cows, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Close to the sea?
No, very far away, actually. Very
Right,
much
inland.
inland. Yeah, you're probably
okay.
about, you'd be a good 400 kilometres from the sea.
Right, okay.
Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, which isn't much in Australia. Like people from there can just go to the beach for the day, but for the average person outside of Australia, it's 400 kilometres is quite a lot.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't know. You guys ever saw the movie The Castle? Was that ever famous in overseas? Probably not. Anyway, The Castle was an iconic Aussie movie, and it was actually filmed in Bonnie Doon. There's a big lake massive lake nearby, which probably adds to that sort of the mistiness of that area. Make it, yeah.
That's why I was asking about the sea, because I was wondering where the mist was coming from. So.
Yeah, it's got a big lake close to there, so that will probably add to it. Yeah, but it's a great location, and well done for going there and shooting it, mate.
Yeah, well done, David.
Yeah, well done, David. I like that. Yeah, it's nice. Real nice.
Great start for sure. Right, we also need to. It's Tom's turn this time to come up with a theme for next month. So Matt chose natural framing for this one. So what we're going to go with for next month, Tom?
I read a couple, but I think to simplify it, I just think we should go small scenes.
Right. Okay.
I wanted to go I was thinking minimal, or it's like them sort of more normal sort of popular subjects. But I thought if we go small scenes, and that opens it up to not just arty farty shots. It could be because at the moment, obviously where everything's like springing at the moment.
Yeah,
there's lots of wildflowers. There's there's new fresh life just appearing. I thought
intimate scenes. Yeah,
intimate scenes. Yeah, I just thought small. Yeah, intimate scenes is decent. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking.
Right. So for next month, then we'll go with intimate scenes. So get your images put forward to the critique for next month using the hashtag OPG critique, and submit them to the official Outdoor Photography Guide Facebook group so that we can put them into a list for next month. We really look forward to seeing them.
And don't be afraid to put in more than one, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
put in as many as you like. As the month goes on, you can upload as many as you like. It's
definitely
just whatever we can kind of whittle it down to by the end to get through it for next month. But yeah, for sure, get as many in as you like.
Right. And like we say in the other live events, we're not picking images based on what we think is the best image. We're picking images based on what we think would be a good discussion.
Yeah, definitely.
For critique purposes, for this month. So don't ever think, I didn't get my photo in. Don't be offended. Your image is probably it is brilliant. But if we didn't put it through, it's because probably we didn't feel that based on the other images or based on that actual theme itself, it might not have been enough to bring up as a discussion for that month. Yeah,
definitely.
Because the discussion is we're trying to pick things out, aren't we, too? Or we're trying to pick the good things and bad things out. So
otherwise we'd have nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
so,
sit there and go, that's it
would just be a screen of us three sitting there looking at each other, which wouldn't be too interesting.
Yeah. No, definitely not. For anyone.
Right, so I'm going to move on to this one. Now, this is Phil Payne. And the reason I chose this one, not only is it good natural framing, but he's uploaded 2 versions of it. So we have this full color version, and then we also have a slightly different composition, but it's kind of similar, a black and white version
Is that a cropped, mate, or is that your screen? There we go. Yeah. Oh, hang on a tick.
There you go. Why is it doing that? It's not showing that on my screen, you see.
Oh, it is on here. Okay.
Is that it gone?
It's gone now.
It's gone now. Yeah. It's gone.
Weird.
Yep. Okay.
So that's the black and white one that he submitted.
Yes.
And it's obviously the same location, slightly different composition. But I'll go back to the color again. There we go.
Yep.
I'll full screen. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, wow, crikey. There's
lots to look at.
Lots to look at, yeah. I think for me, this is a better version.
Right, okay.
Just because I feel that the black and white it's with this texture that adds to the sky. There's just quite a lot. There's too much going on for the black and white one.
Right. Okay.
Whereas the detail in the darker areas makes more sense. But yeah, crikey, yeah. There's I love the detail. I love the way that this rock formation is incredible, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lovely rock formation. I struggle with it because there's so much going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would love to see this scene with the sea higher up. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, maybe
so it hides them rocks, some of the rocks anyway.
Yeah, it would simplify it a lot more if the tide was up, and it obviously does reach that point because there's obviously tide pools down here in that bottom right corner.
But we don't know whether
you don't know whether it's accessible.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But it would be interesting to see it with the water maybe just lapping around the bottom of that the round base.
Yeah, it would certainly simplify it a lot more.
Yeah, but yeah, great subject. Definitely something to work with there, isn't there?
It's definitely a creative framing in the sense that it's not your typical left hand, right hand frame. It's on off center frame, and you got to give it credit. I mean, when I saw that's the first thing I noticed. What an interesting frame! What a creative frame it is, because it's not your typical centered frame, is it? No. It's not a frame as in the whole entire center of the image is your scene. It's sort of the scene itself is a bit of everything, isn't it? Because it's off center. So I think it's a great idea, isn't it? Really, that he's gone ahead and done that. I agree with what you guys say. Yeah, probably the black and white didn't work as much. I think the black and white would work a lot better, but with the right editing done to it.
I think it could look good. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is with black and whites is to understand with this. There's this craze about monochrome photography at the moment. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. That in a black and white image too, we have to have an extreme. You have to have these big separations between whites and blacks. So your highlights and your shadows has to be a big separation. It's very, very different to color photography. To have these extremes between the two, especially these really punchy highlights, these punchy lights, they really make for a black and white scene. And this is quite monotonal, this scene, isn't it? There's nothing punchy in it. So I think maybe you could get away with a black and white, but not edited that way. Maybe I don't know if he's gone a little bit too overboard with the clarity, and then somehow or done the opposite. Has it gone down in clarity, up in clarity? It's quite hard to say because it's a bit soft, but then it looks very HD at the same time.
Yeah, I know what
black and white version. This one
funny.
here, especially because I'm sorry, every guy you're going to see me looking over there. It's because here next to me, I've got another screen in here. So I've got my BenQ color monitored screen here. So I'm actually looking through it on a color monitored screen. I'm appreciating the colors a lot more. And I would definitely go back again, like we were talking about with the last shot, because you've got to give this justice. There's something here. Like, this is a typical thing we'd say, okay, yeah, God, I had a good idea there, didn't I? I think I need to go back in better light and maybe understand whether I was a little bit too close to that frame itself, that arch, or do I need to drop back a bit more, or even go inside it a bit more. But gives you not. It's a little bit too dominating for the whole entire scene. It doesn't really move you right into where you need to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, because the right hand side of that, the right hand pillar, the pillar in the center, the right hand side, it sort of just blends into the midground a bit.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had some blue around it, it would
Yeah.
sort of make it stand out a bit more.
Mm.
If it was me, I would be itching to take this, doing like a real arty-farty long exposure.
At high tide. At high tide.
At high tide.
Yeah.
That would look, I think that would look awesome if you could get that and make it look really clean and crisp.
Yeah, definitely.
I might go and investigate it actually because it's on the Northumberland coast somewhere.
It is.
So
That feels up from that area, isn't he? So,
yeah, I might go and have a look. I might go and have a look, see what it's like.
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely.
Nice job that, mate. I like that.
It's an interesting location.
Yep,
that's for sure. Right, guys, I'll come out of there, and I just want to remind you all: next month's theme is going to be intimate scenes. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah. We're not talking about underwear.
No underwear.
No. So put up as many images as you like to the official Outdoor Photography Guide Facebook group using the hashtag OPG Critique, and we'll put them in a list, collate them for next month, and we'd love to critique them and see where we go from there.
Yeah.
Nice. Excited about next month. That'll be decent.
Right. Where's my next one gone? Hang on a minute. I'll be with you. Now, since we were talking about a centered frame, this one really struck me. And this was by Tiago Passos, and it's Porto in Portugal. And it really sort of stood out. And it had a very similar vibe to that frame that we have at Rocca Colascio, that we had a look through that window.
Yeah.
That when we were there last time, it's got that same sort of feel.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what you would imagine how someone would interpret the theme, no? You know, if you had a building like that, it was quite an obvious, nice frame, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously the sunset bang center in the middle at the background works perfectly, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I just want to catch up on a comment before we go any further. David is catching up from his first photo. Just a comment on the crop. Terrible fence below. Did my best to frame without it. It's on the highway to Melbourne. Slammed on the brakes as I came round the corner. As the scene came into view, parked the car, walked back and took a few. This is my favourite, cloned out power lines.
There you go.
There you go. There's the full story.
There's always a fence or something in the way, isn't it?
Yeah. It's guaranteed, isn't it? Is it a nice shot? There's always something in the way.
Yeah.
Right. So back to this shot again. I like it. I like the shot, but there's a couple of little things bother me. One thing is it feels a little bit constrained at the top. It feels as though it's just a bit too close to the top of the frame to me with the top of the window.
I would say, I would.
Could have done with maybe moving that down a touch so that it doesn't feel so claustrophobic, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I know what you mean.
Yeah, a bit too much foreground, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of this down here. There's a lot of brickwork down here, and I think it would have been better if that was all more even. Now, I don't know whether he's done that because this is uglier looking concrete on top of it, and this was nice stone down here. I don't know, but yeah, it just feels a little bit, tight to me. And the other thing is there's some weird purple fringing going along the window top there.
There is,
up here.
Yeah, what's that cause, Guy Byers?
Yeah,
well, it looks like a sort of HDR effect caused it by pushing it too far to me.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a double exposure going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
I say that because as powerful as, who took this shot, sorry?
It was, hang on, let me go out.
Tiago, isn't it?
Tiago Passos.
Okay, Tiago. It'd be interesting if you come back, I don't know, with the comments here or in another stage in the group to find out what camera you used here.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from the cameras that are coming out right now, so I'm talking about it right now, the sensitivity, the EV sensitivity in these sensors isn't that powerful. So I would assume, and I could be wrong, that this is taken in 2 shots, right? So you couldn't recover your shadows in the frame, like so the actual brickwork itself, with that intense sky in the background. It would be very, very. It'd be too noisy, wouldn't it, guys?
Yeah.
To pull those shadows up. So I'm assuming it's a blend, and at some stage during that blend, that's caused that fringing up the top there. Because it can be a bugger. It can be a bugger to get rid of too, isn't it? There is. It's a bit tedious.
It's slightly on the right hand side as well. It kind of comes down here as well. It's not as prominent, but it's there.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, you can see it. Yep. Yeah. And that's caused by some form of blending. So blending one layer of Photoshop into another can cause it. And there is methods of getting rid of that in post-production. As I said, it's a bit tedious, but it does stand out, especially when you notice it, and then you can't.
Yeah, you can't not notice it.
You can't not notice it. That's for sure. Yeah, but it's great, isn't it? It's got this old abandoned feel about it. Like an old tuna farm or something or an old mine on a coast.
Yeah, it's nice. That is.
I would have liked to give. This is the thing with these HDR scenes, that the exposure's so universal, isn't it? I would have liked to given the scene a bit more mystery by not opening up shadows everywhere, making a little bit around the frame, putting vignetting in it, giving the viewer this sense of what's in that corner. It doesn't have to be completely dark, but giving it some sense of mystery and some sense of reality.
Yeah,
we've got one of the comments. Josh has said it's like a painting. Well, it is in a certain
it is,
isn't it? Because it's very pastel-y, isn't it?
Well, it looks like a painting hanging on a wall, is what it looks like. It's got that feel about it because it's so vivid beyond that sort of grey wall. So
the actual doorway or the window, whatever you want to say, I love that light, the orange light catching it. It just works really, really nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, just like you said, it just feels maybe a little bit pushed, too far, maybe. Just being a bit more subtle would, like you said, would encourage you to be add more mystery, and try to sort of show everything, and your eye sort of looks everywhere, which it does. But sometimes less is more.
And maybe just look at the framing slightly, just sort of.
Yeah, you are right about that. Yeah, it's a bit squat.
It's a bit tight to the top.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It just makes it feel, a little bit too heavy at the top for me.
I can understand what he's trying to do. If you look at the bottom there, you've got that small puddle of water with the green. See stuff around. He's probably tried to make that a part of the scene and try and bring it in. In that case, if that's what you wanted to do, that's when you'd say, okay, I'm going to just zoom back a little bit or just step backwards a bit more.
Yeah.
Because, it is a frame and it is a little bit too cut off at the top. But great shot. Go back. Go back to the same place. Yeah, definitely.
Right, guys. Before we move on, again, next month's critique is going to be intimate scenes. So please submit your images to the official Outdoor Photography Guide Facebook group. You should use in the hashtag OPG critique. Hashtag OPG critique.
Getting your Japanese mixed up again, aren't you, mate?
That'll be fantastic. Look forward to that. Right. Seeing as Josh is here, Mr. Menke, there's one of yours, and this really stood out because I loved the sun against the snow on this. And this was in, I have a feeling, Finland. Yes.
Yeah, Lapland.
Yeah, look beautiful. Look beautiful. and it's just got that lovely sort of warm feel to it, even though it's in freezing cold conditions, obviously.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, like I said, what really attracts you is that warm against the cold, eh?
Yeah.
Not like it's not a usual sort of color, is it? It's not a usual sort of well, to be fair, I know that's the sort of thing you get when obviously the shadows are cooler and the highlights tend to be warmer, but it's nice to see the contrast and the extremes together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the shadows are not too dark, like you said, like kind of like the previous shot, Matt, and it's not opened everything up too much. It's quite obviously a tricky scene to compose as well. Expose, I mean, sorry. You're looking straight into the
very,
sun.
very difficult to expose.
Exactly.
Very difficult to expose.
Hard to sort of balance that to what your eye sees.
Yeah, and control the flaring from the lens.
Exactly.
It's probably used a very closed down f-stop. So probably about 16 or 18, I would assume. Josh, if you could tell us there, mate, what f-stop?
Yeah, he's saying it's Rissetunary.
Here we go. F16. There you go.
F16.
Yeah. F16. So it's quite closed down, isn't it? ISO 100, 70 mil, one shot too, and would have been quite hard to recover those details in those shadows because those shadows would have been very prominent, especially in that front frame there. Josh, one thing I probably would have done. Okay, number one, the way that you've included the frame into the shot. Frames, that's what we're talking about tonight, because framing is extremely creative, and the more creative you get with your framing, sometimes it really does separate the average landscape into a masterpiece. We've got some big name photographers out there that have been doing it for a very long time, who were renowned worldwide, and a lot of it is about their framing. I mean, sort of bringing these natural frames into this scene, because it just grabs, it just makes you warm and sort of brings everything in. And it's such an important aspect of photography. I think with this, and we can obviously see this natural frame that he's brought in there, and it's beautiful. We've just got this one-sided frame, haven't we? It's not the whole entire scene. I probably would have shifted slightly to the right-hand side. I think with this frame here, we've got a little bit too much of it, just a bit too much. It's a big chunk, isn't it?
Yeah.
I probably would have just shifted over very, very slightly, just to maybe just take out a bit of it. And I'm talking just from the side. It would have been interesting to play with it a little bit more, to get down a bit lower to the ground with your tripod, maybe, to get a different perspective. Not so much as zooming in and out, just changing your perspective might have been enough to maybe understand, I don't know, get a bit of that top area sort of coming down on you a little bit more. I just felt like it was very much face-to-face taken, and it's a little bit too much, but just a bit. That's me being a bit picky, but because that scene is so gorgeous and that light was insane.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see that. I love the way the light is catching the edges of the that snow that's built up on those trees too. It's just touching the edge there, just so warm, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks lovely. Absolutely lovely.
It's one of them places that, like, I would have really struggled to find, because I would have ended up taking, so like you said, I would have took a shot from slightly left, slightly right, higher, lower. It's like one of them places you would have moved around. But yeah, one thing I would say as well is there's obviously no footprints, so that's something to bear in mind as well, isn't it? When you walk in sand or snow, it's
somebody's ski tracks down.
Oh, across the run, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's something to think about, isn't it? When you're shooting snow or sand, it can be a bit of a nightmare trying to find something nice and clean.
It can definitely.
Yeah.
Especially a place like that too, because those trees that were very simple before aren't that simplified anymore, because they get massive amounts of snow just dumped on them. So they've just turned to this lovely, elegant, slender tree to this big blob ice cream.
Dollop.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
someone just grabbed ice cream and just gone straight in your bowl, and you have to take a photo of it. So it's quite tricky, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh says cropped it in from the right to center the foreground overhang. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So this bit here, so yeah.
Take the right hand side down.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what he means. Yeah, it's lovely though. It's just something a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's not the everyday view, is it?
Josh says weighted balance, Matt. Yeah, I see what he means, but it does. I know what Matt's saying as well. It does feel a little bit dominating.
Yeah,
off to the left slightly.
Yeah, just
because it's such a solid object. I think that's what it is. But yeah, lovely, absolutely lovely. I love it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's definitely
good job, mate. On you, Josh. It took about 800 photos of that place. You said, yeah, I imagine
800
you did.
photos.
Yeah. It's quite a lot.
I can see why. It's a lot, though.
Yeah.
So moving on to next month's theme is going to be intimate scenes. So if you can get your images into the official Outdoor Photography Guide Facebook group using the hashtag OPG Critique, we really look forward to seeing them next month, because this is really building up month to month, guys, because we're getting more and more submissions every month, and it's really great to see that you're putting your images forward and getting involved. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's great to get so much more interaction.
Yeah, they're making our job harder, aren't they? It was easy before when we only had about 6 or 7 images to critique off.
Yeah, yeah. Now you've got.
Now
we
got to look through them all. Yeah, we got to.
Yeah.
So this one is by T Venue Gopal, and it's Tranquility. He's named it, and it's just got lovely tones about this. I really, more than anything else, I really like the tones in it.
Yeah. I absolutely love it. Sorry, Matt, you go.
No, I was going to say, it's got a lovely hue to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I really like it.
Carry on, mate.
I was just going to say, it's very similar to Matt, really. I just love the tones in it. I love the edit on it. Obviously, he's gone for that real cool. He's really sort of gone for that cold. I know it was cold, but he's really sort of played on it, which I like. And he's not been scared of of sort of using that to his advantage, and compositionally it works really well. He's been very careful with the way that sort of, what is it, like a bit of, it's not a pier, is it? It's like I don't know what you call it, like an inlet, or it's sort of centered nice. It's not encroaching on any of the branches, which I always bang on about with the woodland stuff. And the top of the trees, they sort of meet nice. They're not sort of like converging and muddling up there.
It looks more balanced.
Yeah.
Than the last shot with the trees looked. At least you've got them kind of more towards the edges of the frame, so it's it looks more balanced that way to me.
I can't really see.
Again, there's some weird stuff going on over here.
The dark,
where it's kind of making the branches look a bit HDR on that left-hand side.
Yeah, it's almost like a weird sort of vignette going on, isn't there? Like,
it's kind of looks a bit crunchy.
Yeah, it does
look a bit. Yeah,
it's just the left though, isn't it?
On the
left, just the left. I can't see it on the right, which is a bit weird, but it's as if one side's been over processed and one side hasn't.
Is that due to? Do you think it's probably maybe over focusing? So trying to correct it might have been a bit soft, so they've tried to make it sharper in post production, and by doing that a few times, it's created this
artifact.
And denoising too. Denoising sometimes when you try and sharpen, it makes it a bit smudgy. Could have been that. Yeah.
Could it be like a filter?
No, I don't think. If you look at the trees on the right hand side, there's not much distance between the ones on the right and the ones on the left. So it's quite good. The ones on the right hand side look very, very sharp and realistic, don't they?
Yeah, and I don't see any of that on this side. It doesn't look as though you've got the same thing going on over here. It's just this one side.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I really like the shot. I like it, but I'm trying to understand what it is that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because there is something, and I can't find it. There's
Yeah.
something that is not harmonious in this. It's got this beautiful tones, great scene. You're using this frame here. The center area is quite empty, so it's sort of it should be just very, very natural to the eye. But there's something
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I
Yeah.
can't work it out. There's something. It's just not quite right, and it's I don't know whether it's the fact that you got this rock formation that sort of cuts across that sort of stops your eye from going back. Is it? You got like this little coastal area, and if that was sort of continue on a little bit throughout the frame, it would help you to lead your eye down. Here, your eye sort of
Yeah.
stops with that there. It's got this big block of rocks sort of going across, not
And I think
down.
the thing that makes it worse is that block of rocks is going off at a different angle to the horizon,
Yeah, I think that's probably what
Uh,
and it
I was gonna
conflicts
say.
a bit. You know what I mean? If that was kind of more centered and more straight on to the horizon line, it might not be as distracting. But I think because it's pulling you off.
Yeah. If it was like a pier that finished to a point or like a round sort of shape to it, it would work a lot better because it's like a like a real tight oval that's not centered to anything. I don't know whether you are right, Matt. Yeah, your eye just sort of gets drawn to it, and then I don't really look around the trees after I look at that.
Yeah, I think it's it's that. It's the fact that you've got the tree on the left hand side that sort of starts from the corner and then sort of gradually comes up, which is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I
We've
like
got this
that.
tree
Yeah.
we've got this tree on the other side that it's somehow as beautiful as it is, it doesn't quite work in harmony
Yeah,
with everything else, and it's not quite. It's hard to describe it. It's just one of those scenes that beautiful, but something, it's just not quite there, is it? It's just not.
Yeah, that's perfect normal though, isn't it? How many scenes do you see that you think, wow, that looks incredible? But sometimes they just don't photograph well, do they?
No.
yeah, it doesn't translate it into an image.
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's one of them moments where you just got to sit there, pour the coffee out, and just let it all float by for a bit. I know what you mean. But yeah, I feel like I want to go there though. The picture makes me want to go there.
Oh, it does, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's appealing in that sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you start to sort of look at it further than that, yeah, it's hard to explain, but I do get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Angie says there is nowhere to look out to. That's what's bothering me.
Yeah. It is. It's that big hunk of rock that moves across that you would have liked to eliminate. I think if that wasn't there, this coastal area down the bottom had, if you would actually to walk down the hill a little bit, you would lose a bit of your perspective, but you would get more of that coast in. You could have done something, but you got those rocks there, haven't you? So
Yeah,
what you can do about it. But
no, not really.
be a great place to it makes you want to go there and look for something though, doesn't it? You think, I would love to go there and just walk around a bit more. But the light is incredible.
Yeah, I love the tones. The tones make it for me, really.
Yeah, the snow. That is snow. I mean,
Yeah,
it's bloody cold, isn't it?
Bloody
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great work though. Great work. Great idea there.
Definitely.
Well, we've just talked about it non-stop for what, 5-10 minutes, and so that says it already.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, if it keeps you interested enough to look at it, then there's definitely something there. It's just a case of working on it to make it work better, I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
Right. So on that note, I have another one with another tree.
This is one of the first ones that came up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And this hello.
Alexander Tereshchenko.
Alexander Tereshchenko.
And it's Yavorinik Horan Mountain in Ukraine.
Well, mate, that was decent. That was a good effort.
Well, I probably butchered the life out of it.
No, I don't know. No more than I would have done.
Best I can do. Let's make that larger. But it's an interesting tree, and it's an interesting frame.
Makes me want to go there. Wow.
Yeah, again.
Didn't know there was mountains like that in Ukraine. That's incredible.
No,
I thought
it looks
Ukraine was
amazing.
flat. It's definitely not flat at all, is it?
No, not at all. It looks amazing.
Doesn't look like Ukraine at all. No. That's like rock? Is that rocks? And is it like a field of rocks?
Yeah, it is.
Beyond.
Rocks and trees, and
Yep. Who's going first?
Go on, far away.
Go, Tom. Go, Tom. Get stuck into it, mate.
Yeah. There's lots of things I do like. Obviously, the tree and the detail in that tree is what draws you in. You know, if I've seen that from a distance, I would definitely walk over and have a look at it. For me, it's quite a lot going on, and I don't really know where. There's too much going on around the outside. I don't really get pulled through enough.
Yeah,
if I'm honest. There's quite a few things that are out of focus, which I understand why.
There you go.
Obviously, technically, it's quite a hard shot to, you're talking. This definitely requires focus stacking.
Yeah.
To get them that sorted out. I don't know whether you could move. I don't know. Obviously, without being there, it's hard to sort of say exactly what you could have done. But yeah, I just find them a little too distracting. I don't really get pulled through as much.
I think you're distracted, Tom, because we've got this beautiful frame with this gorgeous tree. Look at the knots in that tree.
Yeah, stunning.
There's so much in that tree.
Yeah,
that just makes a brilliant foreground and a frame. Like here, that's what a brilliant idea to actually think about getting inside that tree to use it as a frame. But what happened was that the photographer, Alexander, you didn't follow through technically, did you, mate? You focus for your background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You focus for your background. You shouldn't have focused for your background. You should have focused on that tree, and then you should have taken another shot and maybe another one after that. That needed focus stacking. When your focal point of interest is so close to you, you have to focus. You have to focus stack. You have to, especially in an instance like this. If you've got something dominant that takes up your whole entire frame and it's very close to you, you have to focus stack. Doesn't matter what f-stop you use. Focus stack.
No. Yeah, it's too close, especially these days. It's digital, it doesn't cost you no money, and lots of the new cameras, like I don't know what yours or the Fuji's like, Paul, but I think the Nikon, it's got a setting, you just press a button, it does it all for you.
Well, you can, but it's finicky, so I don't use it. I usually just manually do it.
Same here. I always do it manually, but
I'd spend more time trying to get the damn thing set up than I would actually taking a shot. So I'll just do it manually. It's a lot quicker.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you're totally right, Matt. It's the out of focus areas. Yes, and whether you could go even tighter in, and really use that tree as a frame, but then you lose your foreground.
Yeah. Well, unless you used a wider angle lens.
Wider angle.
Then you could get closer to the tree.
Yeah,
but then you'd have to really,
focus stack. Yeah, maybe just a tad tighter, but not much.
Not much. I'm just thinking, even if you did eliminate, even if you did make that branch on the right there sharp, I still think it'd be distracting. I don't know, because it's often to one side. You know what I mean?
Well, you have to see what it looked like when I was in.
Yeah, you can't tell, can you?
That's when you play with shadows too, don't you? Because with frames, you can, as we said, get a bit of mystery with your framing too. It doesn't all have to be perfectly exposed from foreground, middle ground, and background. We can give it a little bit of mystery, can't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So we've got some sort of white blooming going on around that left-hand branch. What do you think caused that?
Yeah,
over here. So it's got some sort of white haze both sides of that branch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Is he as he exposed? As he blended images?
No, don't think so. No,
No.
he couldn't have blended them, mate. It's too out of focus. Yeah. Too out of focus.
So, right, just want to catch up on a couple of these comments. Josh says the Carpathians loop around from Romania through Ukraine and into Slovakia.
Oh, wow.
And John says the branches coming towards the camera make it slightly unbalanced. I think they grab your attention. I think that's what it is, and it just pulls your attention away from the rest of the image. GK says, I wonder what it looks like from the other side. And Alex says, we have very beautiful Carpathian mountains. When we win the war, I invite you to come to Ukraine. Our country is very beautiful.
Oh,
Sounds good, mate. Yeah, we'll come over, mate.
Definitely.
Bloody oath, I'll be there.
Yeah, it looks stunning.
Yep.
Looks stunning.
Yeah, it's a lovely idea, a lovely tree. Very unique. I don't think I've ever seen a tree like that before.
Well, yeah, because you've got old and young as well. So you've got like the new growth, and then you've got this old one. So I think the new one looks as though it's growing off the old one. So it's really nice, gnarly looking tree.
Again, I want to go there. There's definitely,
and again, we've just spent 10 minutes talking about it. So
there's definitely potential there to sort of really go to town, I think.
Yeah,
great job. I like that.
The Carpathian Mountains. Let's remember that one, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. There, they look stunning.
Hope the food's good.
So, just want to remind you guys, next month critique is going to be intimate scenes. So please get your images submitted for that. We'd love to see them. Use the hashtag OPG critique and get them submitted to the official Outdoor Photography Guide Facebook group. Can't wait to see them. Right. I have another one here. Where is it? Struggling to see now. There we go.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this one up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this had lots of interest about it.
Yeah.
And lots to talk about. And it is Jerry Canas Ricky.
Jerry.
And
there you go, mate.
Arches National Park, Utah.
Wow. Very far away.
Yeah, I think it's got lots going on. It's a lovely sort of gnarly tree trunk in it.
I bet you there's a bloody rattlesnake under that tree trunk too.
Definitely, yeah. Not be sat having my lunch down there.
No, not at all. Kind of looks like some kind of creature with horns.
It does, doesn't it? I was thinking that. It looks like an insect. Yeah, wow.
It's a lovely gnarly tree that. Looking at it, I wonder what it would be like if it possible they could have moved over to the left slightly.
Yeah, it's got a frame blocking a frame.
Yeah, it has, and that's what bothers me. I think there's two things that really bother me. It's these protruding into the skyline.
Yeah,
and that kind of looks a little distracting.
Really?
Yeah, that bothers me.
Oh,
yeah.
I like it. It gives the scene depth.
Yeah, I guess
it separates the immediate foreground to the middle ground by giving something extra. Maybe if you had it a bit lower, I don't think it would give that separation. It gives it dimension by actually having something prominent sticking out.
Yeah, I guess.
Do I want to restart my computer? No, I don't want to restart my computer right now. Thank you. We're doing a live event. Yeah, just go away for now. Thanks. There you go.
But definitely move over to the left, I think, because it's just obstructing that the right side of that.
Yeah, that tunnel archway has got to be centered somewhat in them two uprights. Like you said, Matt, it's a frame but you're looking into like an unfinished frame. You can't really see the tunnel, can you? You can't see all of it.
Well, it's blocking. You got that second frame there, but from here, that you got that second frame that's not going into anything though, is it?
Yeah, it's not going into anything, no.
So maybe doing what Paul said, if you shifted to the left, you might be able to see some more of what is that scene in that other frame.
Mm-hmm.
Then that would maybe change your perspective, get up a bit higher with the tripod and move over a tad. And you maybe you see some of those little tiny trees in the background there to maybe sort of get up a bit higher and move across and see and look down a bit more at them.
Yeah.
You can afford to, because there's a bit of foreground there you probably could have eliminated, really. And it's very blown out. I mean, we get these blown out. Obviously, it's not a good time of day to take a photo, is it? So a lot of that foreground's blown out highlights anyway, isn't it? So, yeah.
I think it's just like dusty, sandy looking
Yeah.
environment. So.
Yeah.
Again, a very hard scene to sort of make sense compositionally and with the conditions. You've got that to contend with as well, ain't you?
Yeah. Paul?
Yeah.
Crank up. You're on Lightroom, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just desaturate it for a minute, wouldn't you mind?
Hang on.
All the way. And just increase the contrast a tad. Add a little bit of those whites. Okay, bring that up. Because this shot obviously was taken during the day, and as I was saying before, there's some quite powerful... yeah. No, it doesn't quite work, does it? I think what is probably attractive in this is those oranges against the blues, aren't they? It stands out. Yeah.
Kind of loses something without the...
Yeah. Oh, it was worth a shot anyway.
Yeah, it's a nice idea, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, when you've got them harsher conditions, it sort of lends itself to...
Yeah.
That.
When you, especially if you've just got plain blue skies like that and there's nothing going on in them.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think a lot of the images we looked at tonight, a lot of them are just those... It's all about that composition, that framing. And this is that's a great subject to talk about tonight, because it's just about correcting that framing up, using those natural frames, but trying to make them very harmonious into the scene. And it's just about stepping left or right a little bit. And I think a lot of people now in digital photography make this error a lot more than they did 20 years ago, because 20 years ago, what were they doing? They were looking through their optical viewfinder. And when you look in an optical viewfinder, and try and remember who's listening tonight to do this more often, don't use your LCD screen to frame. Your LCD screen is there for you to refine composition, like horizon correction, make sure that your exposures are correct. You can focus, you can touch screen to get your focus correct. Your viewfinder, your optical viewfinder, or in your case, if you've got a mirrorless camera, your electronic viewfinder, use your viewfinder, because what's happening is when you're looking through it, everything around you, those distractions that you would normally have from an LCD screen at a distance with your whole scene around you, you're blocking it out. You're blocking out distractions. So when you're looking in that viewfinder, you can see everything perfectly. You're in a little dark room.
Yeah.
And that's a big mistake that a lot of people in digital photography use. They just rely on everything through their LCD screen.
Yeah, and I can't see the damn thing anyway. That's the best of it. I mean, you've got these LCDs and the reflections and everything. You just can't see what you're looking at 90% of the time.
Yeah.
No.
Good evening, Darren, mate. Darren J. Spoonley joining us.
G'day, buddy.
All right, Darren, all right, mate?
Oh, hang on, I know that bloke.
Yeah.
Irish Photography
Podcast, yeah.
Oh,
we've had them on.
He's a funny bugger, isn't he, that guy?
Yeah. They're all funny, yeah. Oh, dear.
Right, I'm going to move on to this one. Before we move on to this last one, because we're getting through it now, just for next month's critique, please submit your images to the official Outdoor Photography Guide Facebook group using the hashtag OPG Critique. And the theme for next month is intimate scenes. Right, so this last one here, I haven't got any. Why haven't I got any details? Am I in develop? That's why. So it's Northern California, and it's Beatrix Reynolds Cox.
Beatrix Reynolds.
Hey, Beatrix. Lovely place.
Yeah.
I'm really liking this place. I would.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
Yeah.
Darren says, "Funny looking, more like."
That's probably why you got. It's probably why you got a podcast, mate, not a television show.
Yeah. So we've got some teasels in the foreground here, which are really nice.
I'm sorry.
Teasels.
They're called teasels, are they?
Yeah.
Jeez, you're getting fancy.
Teasels.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really nice. They've got a similar sort of look to kind of bulrushes and that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. They are beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, look how dry that is. It's such a dry looking scene, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks fairly arid, doesn't it? Apart from
Crikey, really arid. Yeah.
Apart from you've got some nice sort of trees off in the distance here on this mountain top here.
Yeah, you got a nice little bit of low hanging cloud there, atmosphere.
Yeah.
I love the way the clouds are shaped. They really sort of complement the distance, don't they?
Yeah.
They fill the sky out nice.
So where would you say the frame is?
That is the subject.
That
is the subject, isn't it? So where is the natural frame here? There kind of isn't. Is there really?
I think you're kind of looking through here. This bush here and these here almost make you look through this sort of clear ground passageway here.
Yeah, it's not it's not an obvious frame, is it? Like we've seen.
No, it's not obvious, and it's an off balance frame. But that's what it makes me do, because you've got this gap through here. It kind of draws the eye into it. The more you look at it,
it's more like a foreground frame, isn't it? But it is a frame. Yeah. It's definitely does help you to look into the scene, doesn't it? So your thistles. Could have you used those in your frame, maybe by changing your position?
Possibly, yeah.
Made them a bit more, got in a bit closer, made them, because they're quite big and tall off the ground. You could have maybe shifted a bit to the left and popped them into your scene a bit more, because that mountain in the background there, look at that beautiful Bear Mountain right in the background there.
Yeah.
I just punched the monitor then. My God. Look at that, went smack, and the whole thing just went whoop, 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 whoop.
As he puts his finger through the monitor, yeah.
So I didn't pay for it anyway. It's okay. Yeah, you could have used it, I think. That thistle, definitely. It would, because otherwise, I mean, there's not these big dominating trees in here, is there? But having that beautiful mountain in the background there with those thistles?
Teasels or thistles.
Teasels or thistles.
I think they're teasels.
All
I
right.
think they're called. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they look like.
It's going to be funny if someone writes in a second they're called Florians. Something completely different. There you go.
Nothing that starts with T. Yeah.
So, I definitely think he could have made a frame out of this scene. There could have been something quite creative and quite interesting just by getting that camera off the tripod and sort of dancing around and looking,
and there's lots in that scene as well. I can see lots of possibilities in that scene. Some beautiful curves and everything to the shoreline, and
just about to say that. Yeah,
it's a lovely looking place, though, isn't it? But keeping it very open, as Beatrix has, it makes you. It's very, very inviting, isn't it? You could get away with this scene with having no frame in it at all, because it is different, isn't it?
Well, there's lots of interest without it being overly distracting, I think, is
and it's that's due to the fact that we actually have light on the landscape. I mean, Paul and I have recently trying to make people understand that the best light isn't at sunrise, It isn't at sunset. It's somewhere there in between. Okay, it might not be midday, but it could be midday. It depends on what the light is doing on the landscape.
Yeah.
Sunrise and sunset, the sky is always beautiful, but it's not hitting the landscape.
No,
And
90% of the
what
time it's not.
that is what makes a scene, you know.
Mm.
Obviously, if you're on a lake and you're taking a photo of a lake as it's reflecting your sunset, that is the light on the landscape, because the landscape itself is a lake, isn't it? But
Yeah.
in this scene, it's obviously not immediately at sunrise. It might be sort of like 8:30 a.m. You know, the sun's already been up for an hour, and it's hitting the land, isn't it? And creating this beautiful orange glow about it. It's just really, really attractive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is it, and it's very much that, because a lot of people do rely on those times, and they're told to rely on those times, that those 2 hours of the day are the best hours to photograph, and they can be for certain things, definitely. Certain things, portrait photography, all of that sort of thing. Yeah, golden hour is a great times to shoot those scenes, because you're looking for light on your subject. But the actual sort of point of sunset isn't the best. It's usually the couple of hours before that, anyway. Because you're getting light on the land and you're starting to develop color in the sky.
Yeah.
When that color's totally solid and that color's totally hit, all that light's gone off the landscape.
Yeah, that's right.
And we found that when we were, running that last workshop in Abruzzo there.
Yeah.
I had to set up a shot and blend two images. I set my camera up. I took a shot for the light on the landscape, and then I took a shot for the sky and blended both. It was the only way to get the best result.
Yeah, that is very true. You should never really restrain yourself to certain times, just because.
No, and I think people have to understand that you don't have to be restricted to those couple of hours per day. I mean, you can go out all day, every day, and you're going to come away with shots. It's just about looking at things differently.
Yeah,
it is.
Especially in the mountains or any sort of high elevation as well, because it changes so much,
Well, that's it. You can shoot all day in the mountains, and
That's the thing.
So quick.
Yeah, mountain photography, you can shoot all day. You can.
Yeah,
you can.
definitely.
You can.
Yeah.
You got to remember, when you're in the mountains too, sunrise and sunset isn't a good time to actually shoot at all, because the sun has actually gone behind the back of the mountain. So there's no way you're going to get light on anything.
No, all you're going to get is a nice silhouette.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah.
Basically what happens. Right, guys, thanks so much for your submissions this month. It's been fantastic. You put some really good images in for discussion. We really enjoyed it. But please submit your images for next month using the hashtag OPG Critique to the official Outdoor Photography Guide Facebook group. And the theme for next month is going to be intimate themes. Intimate scenes.
Intimate scenes. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll really look forward to that. There's obviously spring is coming over this side of the equator anyway. So we're getting lots of flushes of green and lots of little scenes appearing, lots of wildflowers appearing. So
maybe after the intimate one, we might have to do a spring one, I think. Hey.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I was out today looking for signs of the bluebells coming up, and they're just starting. I reckon within the next week to 2 weeks, we'll have bluebells springing up. And the wild garlic's on the way as well.
Yeah, so, wild garlic. I need to find somewhere local. Need to find somewhere around my way as wild garlic, because it is so bluebell dominant, which are lovely. But I would like to shoot some garlic.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but it doesn't last long. So that's the only thing. It dies off really quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything like that you can think to make a shot with, get your submissions in.
Yeah, we'll try and put up some examples of images of ours onto the group of examples of what we're referring to as intimate scenes, and to help you get an idea of what images you could go out and capture, or what you already have at home that you could use to put up on the on the group for the live event for next month. Again, sorry for everyone whose image that you did put up and we didn't discuss it. Like we said before, we can only choose a few, so we couldn't put everything up. And we these ones are selected tonight because they gave us things to talk about. Not that your images wouldn't have, but we had a different variety of different things to discuss for the evening and make it interesting for everyone at home to listen to. So thanks everyone who puts your photos in monthly. It's great to see all the hard work and effort that goes into it. Great.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thanks very much for joining us, everyone. Look forward to seeing what you have for us next month. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers,
later,
guys.